Alright, we finally gotten to the part on my Happy Mail book where I was able to add the 2 other signatures that I needed to put in. So I can now add my cover. This needs to be folded a little bit to go around the edges of the cover. So what I'm going to do first is hook the spine, I think, to the spine part. And then that way I don't have to worry about it shifting when I'm trying to add these parts. And if I sound a little, I want my tissue box. If I sound a little weird, it's because I've had a cold or something the past couple days and I'm still trying to get over it. So I'm going to cheat and use advanced tape glider for this part. And I do think that I'm going to put it on here because I know how wide this is by looking at it. Oh, that's not helpful, is it? Alright. And for some reason when I'm trying to go across those parts here, that glue tape does not want to come out. So I think I will splat a bit of extra glue in that area. Alright, we're just going to use this Eileen's Fast Grab Tacky Glue because I'm getting near the bottom of the bottle and I kind of want to get rid of it. So I'll just glob a bunch of that on there. Now you can bind this any way you want on yours if you're making one. Get out the Yes paste or hot glue gun, whatever. Any kind of adhesive is probably going to be fine. This glue is so thick from being old. Alright. You need to center it a little bit on this paper so we have an even top and bottom to fold over. And that looks pretty good. Alright. So just kind of press that in there a little bit. I hope it sticks good. Now, for here, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to need something over here. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to get a general outline of where this cover sits. The reason I'm doing this is so I can make sure to get a good layer of glue in that spot. Alright. I will do a flip after we've gotten the cover on so you can see how all the pages have turned out. Let me go over here and look at some glue choices. I think I'm going to use some of this, maybe use it up. Get this globbing on here. See how this works. It might not work well. This is kind of a boogery glue. It might not even be open properly. Yeah, this isn't coming out as quickly as I would hope. Let's see. I don't think I have my pliers handy. Nope, that ain't gonna cut it either. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna dry too quickly before I could get the cover stuck to it with it being slow like that. Alright, let's try this one. Oh, there we go. I need something that comes out a little faster than one blob every 10 minutes. This is the floral craft glue from Eileen, or Aileen, however you say it. And since I'm talking at the table, I bet you can't hear me. Alright. Now, because I've taped this part to the back here, let's see, is that going to cause a problem? No, I think I can trim that right there so I can still have access to my flappy part. So I'll just use that bone folder, get a really good crease on that. Just use a couple of these binder clips to keep this in place for a little while so that the glue can stay trying to hook itself to that cover part. And I will link a previous video to this process book here in the bottom. Alright, I need to do some gluing in there, I think. And then that other video you'll see where all the stuff prior to this came from, obviously. Alright, I'm going to make more of a point of making a thicker bead along this edge area here, because that way it'll stay on really well. Alright. Okay, because I already have these sewn in, this top part might be a little awkward. I do have enough gap here where I can, you know, feed the cover in there. I think I need to cut these corners off though, so that they come in nicely when you're doing that. You always leave yourself just a tiny bit so you can wrap it like a present. Get it all in there nicely. All right. Okay, trim this edge over here. Now this side we're going to do a little different. I still think I can get the corner in there. At least on part of it. Now if you wanted to be all precise and measure exactly where you're cutting these, you could, but this is essentially a junk journal, so I don't see the need to do all that. Alright, so now, because I have these pieces here, how do I want to do this? I think I'll just glue it down and then cut it where it needs to be released. Alright. Alright. Now's the tricky part. Because I need to get this piece of paper up under here, I need to find a way of feeding it in without it jacking up the paper. So let's start it first, and then I can get my good crease going. And then when I go to glue it down, maybe it will be more cooperative. I think that'll be good. And let's see, for this side, now all I'm doing is pushing the paper up under the signatures where they are not sewn in. Now, because this paper is a gift bag, it's a little thicker and able to withstand this kind of abuse. But if you're using something like a newsprint or whatever paper, you might end up ripping it, so just be careful. I think even wrapping paper would probably rip if you were using some of that. And you could also cut it like here on both sides and feed that smaller piece in. Alrighty, so I got those folded in. Now I need to add some glue so they'll stay. I do need to make sure this is not underneath that flap. Like so. I'm just going to use my finger now. Get it up under there really good. And we'll do this side while we're over here. Now the reason I'm pushing from the edge to the center is that allows that glue to get dispersed onto that paper all the way up to the little edge there. And you may even get some that scooshes out that you can just wipe away while it's still wet. Or if you keep your stuff away from it or insert a piece of wax paper or whatever, you can stop your things from getting stuck to it. So we have that on there. Alright. Now to the other side. So gross, but I don't mind glue on my fingers. I know some people have a issue with the feeling of stuff like that, so obviously you'd want to use a brush or just dispense it from the bottle the way you're supposed to. I was one of those kids in school who always got the glue out and put it on her hand. Made all the layers so you could peel it off and look like you had an extra bunch of skin going on. I always thought that was fun. I always liked how smooth your hand felt afterwards too. Like you just exfoliated. Alright. And now we just have this last bit down here. Alright. I think I need a little bit more up under there. And there we have it. So, let me get this glue off real quick. Okay. So I'm just going to do this a little bit to spread that glue around under there. And I still think maybe I need to add some in there. Let's see. how cooperative it wants to be now. Alright, that looks good. Okay, now as you can see, it does alligator a little bit, which is fine. I'm going to be adding more goodies in here. And a few videos back, I showed this ribbon I had received when we purchased a little throw blanket. And I tested this earlier, and it is almost the right size to be used on this book. I think if I did just a slight alteration on the other side, it would be perfect. And in fact, if I just left it like that, I think any of the extra goodies I put in here will make it work, because it almost fits perfect now. It's when you grab it and squeeze it that the band wants to fall off. So it does stay on. I might just leave it like that, but I think something fun, postal related, right here would be cool. I need to keep an eye open for that. So we'll see. I might add some lettering or something on a piece of chipboard that can be attached here. So I can peel it up like a flap. So, alright. I think that's the end of the covering process. And stay tuned for a flip through the pages. Take care.